Time to talk international cricket now and the return of Chris Gayle to the international arena. Too bad he's doing it against New Zealand a little bit later in the year, but we're joined now by Renan Wilben, the pinch hitter, blogger for CricketCompanion.com. It's a great website and check that one out, but they've also got an app now which runs on mobiles, and they've also got a widget for your desktop, all sorts of stuff, complete ecosystem for cricket, so make sure you check them out. All the information there on their website, CricketCompanion.com. Anyway, now we're joined by the pinch hitter, Renan Wilben. Good morning, mate.
Good morning.
Good morning, mate. All right, let's get into it. With Chris Gayle coming back, do you actually think he's ready, he's going to be selected, and that he's going to be able to stand up to international cricket again?
Yes, I think he's been playing cricket. It's not for a while now, like IPL and all those stuff. So he's actually fit for international cricket, and even he's been scoring well for quite a while now. Although it's not international cricket, he's still doing well, performing very well. So I think West Indies needs him at this moment, and his selection has come at the right time. Under Darren Sammy, the team is performing well now. I think if Chris Gayle comes and performs, it will do even better. Just he has to gel with the team, and he has to make sure that all the running he's had with the West Indies board doesn't affect the team now.
Do you think he can get along with Sammy and his new style of play with the West Indies to play very team-based cricket where everyone has to pitch in, everyone has to perform?
Yeah. See, the difficult part is that when he left the team, he was a skipper. This team has been built under Darren Sammy. This is his team. So he has to keep aside all his ego, and he has to play just as a part of the team, and he has to perform well. He has to practice hard in the nets. He has to start from scratch, basically. Because the team has developed well under Darren Sammy, and he has to get along if he has to perform. He has to get along with the guys. He has to act as a role model for the youngsters.
Yeah, you're right there. Do you think his constant toing and froing will be a disruptive force? I mean, do you think he can put that aside?
Actually, it could be a problem because it's not the first time he's had an issue with the West Indies board. So he has to keep that aside. And the main part is he has to be hungry to score the runs. He has 6,000 runs in Test, 8,000 in one day. But that won't matter now that he's come back. He's started fresh. He's 32 years now. He still has a few years left in him. And he has to assure that all the runnings don't have an impact on his game. He has to get along well with the team, with Darren Sammy in particular, because he's the one who has brought West Indies. They have performed well under him. They have not been winning, but they gave India a tough fight. They drew the one-day series and T20s against Australia. Even the Test, they were performing well, but they needed a player of a class of Gayle. And since he's back now, he should lead the side as a senior pro. That's what I feel.
I think you're absolutely right there. I mean, West Indies in that series against Australia, I watched it closely, and West Indies, they pushed very hard through that entire series in every form of the game. In the tests, they really their only weakness was they lacked a couple of more pure class players. They only really had Chanderpaul with them for this series. With Bravo out, with Gayle out, with Edwards out. It's that they lacked just that little bit of class which you normally expect from a West Indies team.
Yes, and I think the big advantage of Chris Gayle is that he'll play in all three forms of the game. Chanderpaul only plays the Test version, but Chris Gayle will be available for all three formats. And the good thing is in form now. He's been scoring very well in the IPL, and that should give him the confidence. The only thing that West Indies need is for the youngsters to perform now along with him. I think they do well as a team. Darren Sammy has been doing really well as keeper. Plus, his performance has gone up ever since he has taken over the captaincy. When he took over, he wasn't a permanent member of the squad. But now he's performing like he's among the best performers of the team. So they just need the youngsters like Adrian Bharat is there or Darren Bravo. They need to step up now because they have a player like Gayle and they can compete even better in the future matches. It will be tough in England, but they have a team with Fidel Edwards with Devnarayan has been performing, plus Ravi Rampal is there. So they have good players who can compete. They just need to work hard in the net. They need to compete better. And they need to start winning first. I think once they start winning, they will get more confidence to perform even better in the future. They have the players now. They just need to work harder.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, their players have been performing leaps and bounds and been getting a lot better under Darren Sammy and Gibson over there in the West Indies. But do Do you think it's concerning that that they haven't been able to put those performance and close out games based on their potential?
Yes, I think the reason behind that is they haven't been winning close games. Once they start winning it, they'll get the confidence and the experience. A lot of players are still new, like Chris Gayle's experience, Chandrapal's experience, but the rest of the lot, they haven't been playing that much cricket. And they need to start winning the close games. And I think once they start to win a couple of games, they will feel better about themselves. And that will give them confidence to perform even better.
Yeah, you're right there. That's a very, very good point. With Dwayne Bravo, he has been out of the Test arena for a little while, and we spoke with Michael Holding the other day on the radio, and he said the main reason that Dwayne Bravo wasn't in the side is because Darren Sammy was in the side, and the selectors couldn't justify playing two players who play in a similar sort of style in their lineup for a Test lineup. Do you agree with that?
Okay. Yes, I think Dwayne Bravo fits the one-day format, but in tests with Darren Sammy and Dwayne Bravo, they have very similar roles. So there's actually place for one of the two. They need bowlers as well, and with Fidel Edwards in there, Skimmer Roach, they've been performing well. So, and when Dwayne Bravo, when he got his opportunities, he hasn't grabbed them with both hands. So I think Darren Sammy has done well, and he deserves his place in the squad. He's justified his place in the squad. Dwayne Bravo is good for T20s, for 50 overs. But in the test version, if they have to pick one of the two, I think at the moment this Darren Sammy is the right guy.
Okay. Now, would you consider playing them both? I mean, in place of one of the underperforming batsmen or one of the bowlers who hasn't quite lived up to potential, would you consider playing both of them? Because I mean, Dwayne Bravo has that little bit of experience, and I found that in the last series, especially that last Test series. I mean, Chandrapal played more games than every other player in that team put together. So maybe having Dwayne Bravo there, a big name player, a big game player, may have helped them. What do you think?
Yeah, that will do. But like the problem is, you have to have Chandrapal on the squad also. He is the only senior member right now. So whom does he replace? That's the question. The youngsters also deserve a chance. And with two people having similar roles, I think they'll have to either keep out a batsman or extra bowler. And that will be the tough issue to tackle, I think.
No, you're absolutely right there. You mentioned earlier Darren Sammy, coming into the squad as captain, and before he became captain, he wasn't really a permanent fixture there, but he has really performed now. Was Darren Sammy becoming captain in the first place? Was that a interesting decision for you at the time?
Yes, it was a very interesting decision because, as you said, when he took out the captaincy, he himself wasn't a permanent fixture in the squad, and the team as it wasn't performing well. But if you look at his performance in the last year, in the series against India, even against Australia, whenever the team has been in trouble, either with the bat or with the ball, he has come up with the goods. And I think that's the quality of a great captain. The team is not winning consistently, but he has performed very well, and I think he's justified his position as a captain. I think now people shouldn't question his ability as a skipper or as a player. He's a permanent member of the 11.
That's absolutely right, mate. Now, one player I want to talk to you about who's been talked about as the next Brian Lara is Darren Bravo, Dwayne's brother. He's been talked about on this side of the world as being one of those players who could become the next Brian Lara. Do you agree with that sort of high praise?
What I've seen of him, he's a very good quality player. Yes, he's molded himself from Brian Lara, that's true. But he has been getting out too often after getting 30s and 40s. And he has played enough international cricket now to realize that he cannot let opportunities go. He has a number three spot which is very crucial. Brian Lara held it for a decade and a half. The responsibility lies with him to grab his opportunities, and he has the talent, but he needs to have the mental aptitude to apply himself on the crease and score as many hundreds as possible. As many 30s and 40s, he needs to convert it into bigger scores. And that's the only way we can justify comparing with Brian Lara. He's just starting off. There's a long way to go, but he needs to start performing. I think the time has come. Against Australia, he got scores almost in every game, but none of them were big scores, not a single 100. So that's why he's lacking. I think he has to work on that aspect of his game very hard.
All right, mate. Now, before I let you go, what does West Indies need to do? They've got a series coming up against England. What do they need to do? Who do you think is going to have put in the key performance for them to win this series, for them to do really well? Who are the key players that need to do really well?
I think the key player will be Shivnarine Chandrapal, as he's the most experienced player. But as we know, cricket is a team game, so everybody needs to chip in, right from the openers to the middle order. And Chris Gayle won't be there in a test series, but they need the youngsters to rise to the occasion. In Australia, the series competed, but it was mostly only Chandrapal performing. They need the other batsmen to step up. As I said, Bravo needs to get bigger scores, and the bowlers need to do better. They need to be fit, first of all. Fidel Edwards, he's been having problems with injury for a while now. The Indies need him to be fit for the test. That's what's important. They have the bowlers who can exploit English conditions, but they need to be on the spot. They need to practice hard, and they need, as a team, they need to perform. Even Narsin Devanarayan is there. They have Ravi Rampal, and Shane Sillingford performed very well in Australia. So they have the team now, and they can exploit the conditions. They just need to have the confidence that they can compete. England will come very hard at them because they're the number one team in the world. But West Indies have their team now, and they can perform. They can compete. They need to start winning, and once they start winning, they will get the confidence to do even better.
All right, Renan, thank you very much for your time, mate. We really appreciate you giving it up to have a chat about some cricket with me.
Sure. Thank you. Take care.
Cheers. That was Renan Wilben, the pinch hitter who writes his blog on CricketCompanion.com. Check out that website. But also, they've got that app for your mobile. They also got a desktop widget, both which help support that website and give you all the information you could need regarding the cricket arena. So make sure you check them out, CricketCompanion.com. If you want to download the widget for your PC, download CricketCompanion.com. And also, they got the app which you can download from alpha.crick.co.nz.